Hey guys, I'm here today to show you how I achieve this look, how I style my short hair. So if you want to see how I do this, please keep on watching. So the very first thing I do with my hair when it is damp out of the shower is I use the Redken Pillow Proof Blow Dry Express Primer. This primer is amazing. I put this in root to ends. It helps your hair to dry faster and it is a heat protectant. The next thing I do is add a pump of the Sexy Hair Blow Dry Volumizing Gel, and I will put this in roots to ends, and this just helps me get some lift and volume to my hair. Then I blow dry my hair. Since my hair is short, I will dry it all crazy every which way. Sometimes my head's upside down, tilted to the side. Sometimes I will take a brush and I will kind of brush it up just to get more lift and volume to my hair. And then once it is all dry, I'll be ready for styling it with my curling iron. Now, if you're one of those people who really likes their hair better on like day 2 or 3 because if it's too clean, it won't do anything for you, then what you can do is add the Big Sexy Hair Volumizing Dry Shampoo or any dry shampoo that you have. Spritz this throughout your hair, really work it in at the scalp. It'll help to give your hair some texture and it'll give it a little bit of volume as well. Today, I didn't add any of that to my hair. I'm just gonna go ahead and get to styling it. So the first thing I do is I will part my hair right at the top of my ears, just like this. And I'll use some sort of clip to clip it up. I'm using a little claw clip today. So get this up out of your way. I'm using a 1-inch curling iron and I'm gonna take a section of my hair down here and I'm gonna curl it. You don't have to be too careful with this because no one really sees the under part. I just like to get it curled so there's texture down there and it makes it a little bit shorter. You can curl this all back, you can curl it all forward. It's just adding a little bit of volume and texture at the base of your hair. It doesn't even have to be perfect. If it doesn't curl as well as other areas, it's really not gonna matter at all. I kind of go for a, not a messier, but a more organic, curly, beachy, wavy look. So I don't need the bottom to be precise at all. I don't even need all the other curls to be very precise. This is just what I do to get started. And I am running the curling iron all the way through the ends of the hair. You'll see as I curl other areas that I don't curl the ends of the hair, but down here, it's okay if I curl those because I do want the underside to be a little bit shorter. So as you can see, I just curled the underside of my hair. You don't have to be precise with this at all. As I said, you're just getting it curled so that there's some texture under there. Now I'm gonna take my next parting. I'm gonna be taking this, so it's above my temples, and taking and sectioning that up as well. So twist that and get this out of the way. So what I've been doing with my hair, now that I cut it short, is taking this front section, and I'm actually gonna curl this towards my face. So it's totally up to you how tight of a curl you want. I know that I like to sometimes do it tighter and sometimes looser, but I always keep my ends straight. So what I do is I clamp it, I start to rotate it right away, I tighten it up a little bit, I don't hold it for too long, and then I kind of just slide it out so it gets just a little bit of a twist in the middle and the ends are smooth, but they're not super curled. So the front section I do forward, and the next section I've been doing forward as well. So I'm curling this towards my face. So that means the clamp, when I grab it, the clamp is going behind the strand of hair. So we clamp it, we start to move right away. We curl it up, rotate it, hold it for just a second, and then just kind of pull through to smooth and straighten the ends. Now the back section here, I go ahead and do this backwards. So that means I'm gonna have the clamp on the front side of the section. I'm gonna rotate and turn, and then I'm going to pull it through, rotating just the tiniest bit. And then in the back, because I have an inverted bob and I want it to look a little bit shorter, I don't mind if the back gets a little bit more curled toward the ends. That doesn't bother me at all. I actually kind of like it. Now we're gonna do that with the next section again. We're gonna curl it back. So I do a rotation, hold it for a second, and then pull through. And then I move over to the next side. So we're doing the same thing. This section is gonna go forward. So I clamp it, I quickly start to move it, I rotate it once, and then I pull through. And it is totally fine if it doesn't perfectly match, like the rotation isn't exactly the same. That doesn't bother me at all. Do that with the next section. The clamp is in the back. We're gonna rotate. Use your thumb to like push down the clamp a little bit so that you're not like totally dragging and pulling through the hair. It helps it just kind of slide through faster. Okay, next section here is gonna go backwards. So the clamp is in the front. I rotate it, hold it for a second, slide it down a little bit, and then pull through. We're just gonna continue this around the back. And if you wanna switch every other curl going forward or backwards, you can totally do that too. A lot of people will do that. This is just how I do it. Okay, now we're ready for the next section. So what I do here is I find where I want to part my hair. I do a really far part on this side because it helps give me that lift right here, so I have a little bit more volume. So if this is what I'm gonna have down on the top on this side, that's what I'm leaving down. Then what I'm gonna do over here is just part it. Usually I'll do it even just kind of in the middle of whatever is left, since this side has all the extra hair. Let's part it kind of in the middle. It's totally fine if there's more hair over here than on this side. That's not gonna matter at all. So I twist this to get this out of the way. So now, since this is the top section here, I'm actually gonna do this very top front section away from my face. So, clamp is in the front, I do a rotation, I'm gonna pull through just a little bit more of a rotation, and then slide down. So I do that for the very front section, but then the next couple sections after that, I'm actually gonna roll towards my face. So this section on this side, this isn't gonna be the very, very top section yet. It's totally up to you whether you want to do this towards your face or away. I'm gonna do this one away as well since it's in the very front. Not the very top, but the very front. That way all the hair just framing my face is all going away. And again, pulling through so the ends are more straight. So this next one I'm gonna do towards the face. And yes, it's a bigger section, that's totally fine. None of these sections need to be the exact same size. And if your ends kind of do something weird, that's totally fine. What you can do is just pull that hair back out at whatever angle it was when you first curled it. Grab it again and just curl it again. Try to fix those ends if they're doing something funky. That's a little better. Let's do that again with this section too. And I totally see that one section's coming out. That's gonna be just fine. Not the section, but that little piece that was right there. All right, and this one's gonna go backwards. It's also totally up to you if you want to be doing hairspray on each section after you curl it to help the curls stay better. I don't tend to do that. When my hair was longer, I might sometimes, just because there was more weight to it and it could be potentially pulled out of its curl faster. But I find with my hair this short, I don't need to hairspray every section after I finish it. And now we're left with this top section. So I'll section off the very front right here. And again, since I want the very front to go away from my face, that's what we're gonna do with this. Just kind of smoothing it out with my fingers here. You can totally use a brush. Sometimes I just use my fingers. And I think I'm gonna actually make this very next section go backwards as well. Most of the time we've had it go forward, the section right after the front, but I'm gonna have this one go back as well, this one on the top here. Okay, so after I curl my hair, this is exactly what it looks like. I haven't touched it yet. So here is where I'm gonna just take my hands and I'm gonna brush it through the curls just to break them up, and it helps to give it a little bit more volume as well. So I just run my fingers through my hair, and I'm just keeping them like I'm kind of making like a claw and running them through just like that. And that just helps to separate it. It makes it look piecier, and it helps to make it look more, a little bit more organic than like you had just curled it with a curling iron. So now I will make sure I have my hair where I want it. I did lose a tiny bit of volume up in here. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm totally fine with that, because on day 2, I have tricks to how I style my hair to make it extra volumized, which I will do a video on that as well. So now I will go ahead and spray hairspray. You don't have to do hairspray if you don't want to. Some people don't like it because they like it to naturally kind of fall out, so it just looks like a natural curl that they have. That's totally fine. I love my hairspray. It helps my style to stay longer for me. So I'm going to be using the Sexy Hair Spray and Play hairspray, and I'm going to, first I'll kind of spray my part area because I get a lot of like floaties up here. So I spritz my part just a little bit, and I use the can to kind of smooth out the top, because the oils on our skin, your hands, can break down the product so it doesn't work quite as well. So I'll just use that to smooth down the top, and then I will spray hairspray on my hair. I don't go crazy, and I'll tilt my head to the side and I'll spray underneath here to help keep that there, and I'll do that on this side. And then when I spray the back, I actually do like to kind of scrunch it up a little bit more, just as I said, because I have the inverted bob, and I definitely like it to be noticeable that it's a bit shorter in the back. And that is how I style my short hair. I really like this look. It's not too perfect, which is what I like. It gives a lot of body and volume to my hair, which is great because I have fine hair and it tends to want to be very limp. And it gives a lot of movement. The reason why I curl the front section away from my face is because it just opens up my face, but having the underneath section, like here, curling towards my face, and the sections behind the front curl towards my face is because it adds more movement. It kind of pushes that hair forward, and then it lets the front kind of open back up. I actually learned that from my coworker, Jillian. She showed me how to first style my hair like this after she cut it for me, because I cut off a ton of length and I hadn't had short hair in a while. So she told me how she liked to do short hairstyles, how she curls it, and I kind of just went from there and made it my own a little bit. But this is what I do with my hair, and I love it. It's easy, it doesn't really take that long, and I'm able to kind of work with these curls for the next day or two, which is really, really nice. I don't have to take the time to recurl all my hair again the very next day. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it helped you find a new way to style your short hairstyle. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.